Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today, in fingerboard geometry, we'll be covering diminished triads, played as chords on strings 2, 3, and 4. First, we'll look at some fingerings, and then we'll do some exercises. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, today in fingerboard geometry, we're going to go back to triads across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. Today we'll be studying the diminished triad, and we're going to look at the inversions of diminished triads first. I'm going to start with the root G. So a diminished triad is simply a minor triad with a flat 5. So if this was G minor, or if you don't know it's G minor, maybe you need to go back and check out some of my previous videos on minor triads. But here's G minor in root position, meaning the root's at the bottom. So if I make that diminished, I just lower the 5th, and now I have G diminished. And I have 3 inversions of this chord going up the fretboard. So this is root position, G diminished, and then I have now the 3rd in the bass. So again, G minor was like this. So if I just lower the 5th, I have G diminished. So this is the minor 3rd, the flat 5, and the root. And then a G minor is up here at the 12th fret, and if I lower the 5th, I get the flatted 5, the root, and the minor 3rd. So those are my 3 inversions of G diminished. Let's look at them now on C diminished. C diminished would look like this. Here's the 2nd inversion of C diminished, so flat 5, root, minor 3rd. And then here's root position, which is root, minor 3rd, and the flat 5. And here is 1st inversion, so I have minor 3rd, flat 5, and root. And now finally, let's look at D diminished. This is D diminished at the around the 3rd to 1st fret, so I have 1st inversion, minor 3rd, flat 5, root. And then I have the 2nd inversion, so flat 5, root, minor 3rd. And finally, I have root position, root, minor 3rd, and flat 5. So now that we've looked at the basic inversions, let's see how this applies to the harmonized scale in triads. Alright, now we're going to apply these diminished triads in a harmonized scale setting. What that means is we'll be playing the scale in chords, and we'll be using our different inversions. Again, if this is unfamiliar to you, you might want to go back and check out some of my earlier videos. We're going to start with root position triads on this string set 2, 3, 4, and we'll be playing in the key of F. So I need that diminished triad in order to complete my harmonized scale, because the diminished chord falls on the 7th degree of the scale. So again, the major scale starts with a major chord, so this is F major, the 1 chord, and it's in root position. So then we go on to the 2 chord G minor, the 3 chord A minor, the 4 chord B flat, the 5 chord is C, the 6 chord is D minor, and the 7th chord is E diminished. And then we're back on F. So that's my 1 chord. Now, we're going to repeat this and use 1st inversion chords. I'm going to start down by the nut though, so the 1st inversion chord I could logically start on here, could be C. I do have an open string, but it's a 1st inversion C. So 1st inversion has the 3rd in the bottom, so this is a 1st inversion C chord. So C is the 5 in the key, so I'll be walking up the scale from the 5 chord. So C is the 5. The 6th chord is D minor. The 7th chord is E diminished. The 1 chord is F. 2 chord G minor. The 3 chord is A minor. The 4 chord is B flat. And I'm back at the 5 chord C. And now for my last inversion, it's 2nd inversion, meaning the 5th is in the bass. So I'm going to start on A minor. A minor is the 3 chord, and I'll walk up the scale from the 3 chord. So here's A minor, the 3. B flat is the 4. C is the 5. The The 6 is D minor. The 7 is E diminished. And the 1 chord is F. And the 2 chord is G minor. And we're back to the 3 chord A minor. Now, let's get a look at the exercises. All right, now for the exercises, we're going to be playing the harmonized scale in the 3 inversion, so root position, then first inversion, and then second inversion. And we'll be incorporating that diminished triad that we've been talking about today. Now, in order to randomize your keys, you might want to use the circle of fourths or fifths, or you could use a musical die, and that looks like this. It is a die that you roll, and you can roll for a random root. So I'm going to demonstrate the exercise on D, and then we'll get a look at the rest of them. Now, I try to start at a chord that's close to the nut instead of starting midway up the fretboard and then cycling back down, because you need to know and understand the key from any chord in the key. So it is not always helpful to always start practicing from the 1 chord. So I'm actually going to start here in the key of D on the 3 chord. That's F sharp minor, and this is root position F sharp minor. So here it is. F sharp is the 3 chord, and then we have the 4 chord G, 5 chord A. The 6 chord is B minor. The 7 chord is C sharp diminished. 1 chord is D. And the 2 chord is E minor. So those were all root position. Now, we're going to go back and do this again for the first inversion chord. So the first inversion chord I'm going to start on is going to be D. And that is my 1 chord. So this time we get to start on the 1 chord, D, 2 chord, E minor, 3 chord, F sharp minor, 4 chord, G, 5 chord, A, 6 chord is B minor, and the 7th chord is C sharp diminished, and I'm back up to D again. Now for the second inversion chords, we're going to start on B minor, so that's the 6th chord, so here's the 6th chord, B minor. And then the 7th chord, we're going to go right into the C sharp diminished. And then we have D. E minor is the 2 chord. F sharp minor is the 3 chord. G is the 4 chord. A is the 5 chord, and then we're back to B minor again. Now, let's get a look at the exercises. That's it for Diminished Triads on strings 2, 3, 4. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.